What's going on, everybody? This is Rick Adams with the Puck House. On the phone with me is Jack Farris, and we're ready for another episode. We're going to make this one a little bit quick. We're both at our jobs doing our thing, but this is how we do it. We do it live, full effect, and we got Jack Farris live on the phone. Jack, say what's up to the folks.
Puck House listeners, what's going on? Jack Farris here. Thanks for the intro, Rick. And as like Rick said, I mean, we're both running around doing things, but that's how we roll. We like to not make excuses, make time for a pod when we have to. So I'm on the road. Rick's in between work on his lunch break, squeezing this in. That's what we do for you guys. And we're ready to talk some quick hockey and cover what's going on and talk about all the newsworthy items that are going on right now. So what do you want to start with, Rick?
Well, Jack, I think we could talk about, first off, how Vegas is up 3-0. Last episode I had Colorado in 7. I am stunned, shocked, all the above, everything, to be honest with you. I know I'm not the only one. I think everybody probably had Colorado. Everybody else underestimated Vegas. I definitely underestimated them. I knew they were good, but I just did not expect this. I don't think many expected 3-0 to start the series. Mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing to me. What do you got, Jack?
No, I agree. I mean, I think the thing that gets me is like a lot of the Colorado fans. Like a lot of Colorado fans are that you hear online or on other podcasts or whatever, just saying like, oh, you really think Vegas is going to make this series? Like they just thought they were going to walk through Vegas, and it's hysterical now that Vegas is up 3-0. But if you guys listened back to the last pod, not to pat myself on the back here, but I did pick Vegas. I said Vegas in 7. I thought Vegas would get it done, but now it's looking like Vegas is going to get it done in less than 7. Unless Colorado really digs deep here and almost makes history with a comeback, like similar to Boston, Florida of a couple of years ago. But Rick, I am so impressed with the way Vegas is playing. I'm impressed with Tortorella. I'm impressed with Carter Hart. I'm impressed with their decor. They're just playing great. Like, they're not, they're playing that Tortorella hockey. They're not giving Colorado the middle of the ice. They're not, I don't know, man. It's just, you watched Colorado somewhat. I'm sure you weren't watching every game during the regular season, but I'm sure you noticed how skilled they were, and they were able to make those seam passes and just like, they're just beat up on teams with their skill, but they're not able to do that against Vegas. So it's impressive to see. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's it really is amazing. It's well put. I mean, shout out to John Tortorella there, and another guy. I know we've talked about him last episode, but is Mitch Marner, man. He keeps proving them wrong. He keeps proving people wrong. He keeps proving Toronto wrong. You and I were texting back and forth in the games we're on. It's just unreal. The passes, the plays that this guy makes, heads up hockey, and just it's just amazing, man. It's I think it goes to show that. Like maybe Eichel might be a better leader. I don't know. Who knows, man? Who knows what was going on in Toronto? Maybe Matthews and Marner were just not getting along, and here you go. To me, it looks like Marner got the better off the deal here. They're out in Vegas, and it's great, man. It's good for him.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and I'm glad you brought up Marner. I was going to as well, but yeah, we were talking about Marner. He's been incredible. He's my Conn Smythe pick. I'm not sure about you, and I haven't checked DraftKings or anything like that. But I'm sure he's the favorite right now. If I'm not mistaken, like I'm sure he is. I haven't checked, but he's been incredible. He's been absolutely incredible, and the Leafs fans, I'm sure, are like. Some of them are probably like, hey, we didn't want to lose this guy. Like, you can't blame all Leafs fans. I'm sure some Leafs fans wanted him to stay. But, the media, a lot of the Toronto media, I'm not going to speak for all of them, but they drove this guy out of town, and I don't know if it wasn't, because of Matthews not being a good leader. I have no idea. You heard all the U.S. Olympians talking about how Matthews was a great leader. So it's tough to say, but all I know is this guy's playing great, and like you were talking about with the skilled, like just the saucer passes through the neutral zone, like just the stuff he can do. But also, he's very good defensively. and that's probably one of the reasons why he's getting along well with Torts, because, yeah, Marner's not going to jump in front of a slap shot and block it with his face. He's not going to fight guys and, lay a big hit on guys, but he doesn't have to because he's producing offensively. That's number one. But he's and I'm very impressed with him and this team. And, you got Jack Eichel, like you said, U.S. Olympian. He's already won a cup before. Just really good player all around. I mean, you can't say enough about him. And while we're talking about them, so we're not all over the place, I wanted to talk about just Vegas in general. The management, the ownership and management, they just take big swings, And like we just spoke about Eichel. Do you remember back in 2021 when they traded Eichel to Buffalo traded Eichel to Vegas because Eichel wanted a certain surgery for his neck. He had the discs. The problem with his disc, I don't know the exact medical thing. I'm not going to use my internet medical degree, but something with his some sort of whatever. I'm not even going to pretend to know what it is, but he had a problem. Buffalo's doctor didn't want him to get this particular surgery that he wanted. I don't think he was happy in Buffalo anyway because they kept losing, so that didn't help. But he goes to Vegas, and I remember like just listening to whatever, like listening to like Sirius XM NHL Network and stuff, and them saying like, this is a risky move for Vegas. Like, what happens? Is Eichel ever going to be a good player again? And this and that. And they go and take a swing and look at this guy. Got them a cup, gold medal. He's playing unbelievable. What did he have? Like 18 points in. I think he's got 18.
Spot on. 18 points, 15 games. Yep. 2 goals, 16 assists.
And that's just an example of a swing. They took a swing, and
big risk, big reward.
Swings, and even Marner. I mean, everyone knows Marner was skilled, but like, there was a lot of people before Vegas signing him. Like, I don't know if I would give Marner $12 million a year. He's, he didn't do great with the Leafs in the playoffs those couple of years, this and that. And Vegas is just like, we believe him. We're going to take a swing on him, and it's worked out. Like Carter Hart had all those legal troubles that we don't have to get into the specifics of. But at the end of the day, he was, exonerated. And what happens? No team wants to touch him. Vegas is like, we'll give Carter Hart a shot. He's been unbelievable, right?
Yeah, he's been playing great.
Yeah, and this guy, so you have that. Like, that might have been an unpopular view or signing at the moment, and they just don't care. They literally don't. So they care about winning. And, so you got Hart. And then Bruce Cassidy. Everyone says, I don't know who Bruce Cassidy is. We've never played for him, but like I've heard from other, from people in the NHL that are saying like, I forgot who was talking about it. It actually might have been the Chicklets guys talking about Cassidy, and they were just talking about basically how he wears down on guys, and like they were just tired of playing for him, and his message wasn't getting through. And then like, you bring in Torts. That was a risky. Like the end of the season, there was like 7 games left. They bring in Tortorella, and he's been unbelievable. Like they get into the playoffs, and they've been lights out ever since. So you gotta there's some like shrewd decisions by management on Vegas, and whether you like Vegas or not, like you have to give them credit for, they just know how to win. They know what to do to win, and they've proven it before. They've already won a cup. So very impressed with this series. And all I can say about Colorado is not having McCarr, very detrimental. And he's obviously hurt. McKinnon got banged up. I mean, but without McCarr, they're not the same team. That blue line's like decimated without McCarr. Like Devin Taves is solid. I know you're familiar with Devin Taves as being, he's an ex-Islander and stuff. Good player, but besides him, like who do you got? Malinsky, Manson, they're okay. They're decent, but it doesn't stack up to Vegas. And Wedgwood's a little iffy. He's not playing like Hart. So yeah, man, I'm impressed with Vegas, and I think they're gonna honestly, I think Colorado wins one. I'd be shocked if. No, I'm not gonna say I'd be shocked. That'd be a stupid thing to say at this point. I think Colorado wins a game, but I guess I wouldn't be shocked if Vegas sweeps them either. I don't know, but Vegas is definitely gonna win the series. That's for sure. So.
Yeah, they look pretty good, man. They look pretty damn good, and 2 guys on that team I wanna really give props to, and I brought him up last pod is Pavel Deforiev. I can't even say his name, man. Pavel score a few more. That's what we're calling him. And Brett Howden. I know you're a little familiar with Brett Howden too. And Yeah, it's crazy how these guys just come in and start burying the puck. I know Pavel's like obviously he scored what 30 last year. He's kind of he's a goal scorer, but Brett Howden burying these goals is amazing, man. I love it. Um, for
Yeah.
Colorado, like you said, McCarr being out game 1 and 2, that's huge, of course. And yeah, Tays is good. He's serviceable. He's obviously a guy I would still take him back on the Islanders, honestly. But guys like Manson and Malinsky there. I don't know. I think Vegas could fly by them. Malinsky's a great skater, though. Malinsky is a good skater, I will say. But
Oh yeah.
it's
Yeah, I'm not saying he's not a good
detrimental.
player.
McCarr being out, it's detrimental to the team. We all know that. Hey, Colorado's getting a little exposed here. I love to see it, and I think it comes back to maybe this President Trophy is really cursed or something. I don't know. I just love bringing it up. We see it every time. We seen it back with Boston a few years back too, when we were last doing the pod, right? Somewhere around that time, I believe.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I was just looking at the decor for Vegas. You got McNabb, Theodore, Hannafin, who I love. Noah Hannafin, another U.S. Olympian, underrated player. He's not McCarr. He's not going to walk the blue line and snipe at top corner, but he's a damn good player. And then you got
Play
Hannafin,
back in
Anderson.
Calgary. With Calgary,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And then you got Coughlin and Korczak. Korczak's like a big. He's pretty solid too. So, but then you compare that to like Colorado without McCarr. I mean, you got Devin Tays. Like McCarr did play last game. So, yeah, if you got Tays and an injured McCarr, and then you got Kulak, Malinsky, Manson, Burns. Burns is like 41, 42 years old. Not the same Burns he once was. So, I mean, McCarr's the best out of that group. But if he's hurt, Vegas's blue line is by far the best. It's not even close. So, yeah, I mean, you talk about Dorofeev. He's up for contract after this year, too. So, I'm sure he's going to get paid handsomely. Yeah, you know what, Rick? It's going to be interesting. It really is. And I don't know. I just think Vegas is going to take it. And it's another thing, too, as we're on ex-Islanders, Brock Nelson, man, he's been pretty invisible. He's not scoring big goals. Remember Austin Long? If was scoring a goal, nowhere to be found almost,
Yeah, he's like a ghost out there. I don't even know what to say, to be honest. Like you said, unnoticeable. Completely unnoticeable. Who is noticeable, though, is a guy like Mark Stone. Comes back, 1 goal, 1 assist. Amazing. Plug and play, baby. Plug and play. Doesn't matter. They gave him something good to perform like that.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like tonight, as you guys are listening here at 12 p.m., it's 9 o'clock tonight. You got Vegas, Colorado. So we'll see if Vegas closes them out. I could totally see it. I don't know. Vegas Colorado just looks rattled, in my opinion. They're just like,
rattled is the best way to put it.
Ghost. Yeah, and then you know what? We kind of brushed past it when you were talking about the leadership thing. Talk about McKinnon. We all know how amazing of a player he is. He's powerful. He's an amazing skater. He's unreal. He's like top 2 or top 3 players in the league probably. But he, you got to question maybe his leadership skills because I don't know. To me, his body language out there is just off. He's throwing his head back. I don't remember. You could actually probably look it up. If you look up McKinnon, Charlie Coyle from last year, Coyle made a bad pass, and McKinnon's just being it looks like he's being a big baby, yelling at Coyle and stuff. And look, me and you played hockey. Shit gets competitive. You might get, you might have a disagreement with a teammate here and there, but I don't know. It's when you're a leader, you're supposed to lead, and you're supposed to bring that team camaraderie. And you make a mistake, you learn from it. We got your back because everyone's going to make a mistake. I don't care how good you are, right? That's the way it works. So,
absolutely.
I just wonder about him and is he almost too intense for the play? It's all about him kind of and then he was hurt and he was on, I don't know if you noticed, he was on the power play late in the game, Sunday night when Vegas was winning. after that. He's like all banged up, and like I think he's yelling. He's probably telling the coach, "No, put me out there," and he's like not himself. Like he's hurt, and I get it. He's their best player, like between him and McCarr. But like, at what point are you like, all right, like it's not about me, it's about the team. Like I can't play. Like I'm hurt. Obviously it's like visible. Like you can't do what you typically could do. So, I don't know. I don't know the guy obviously, but you just wonder if that's a factor too, where like, a guy like Eichel is a better leader, better communicator. Like we keep talking about the gold medal for U.S. Maybe I'm biased, but I'm sure being in that locker room with those guys that just had that camaraderie, had each other's back. It wasn't about the player. Like they really, those guys were not about the player on the back of the jersey. They were about the United States. And I think a lot of those guys still play that way with their teams. I think Quinn Hughes plays that way in Minnesota, Jack Eichel in Vegas, the Kachucks in Florida and Ottawa. Like, these guys, they're a team-oriented person. So I don't know if McKinnon is. Maybe I'm being crazy for saying that. I don't know. I see the body language. I see him fighting with teammates. That might be having a bad effect too.
Yeah, whenever that's going on, I mean, it's almost bound to happen. It's like a snowball effect. One guy gets a sour taste and others do too, maybe that is going on. But I agree with the body language. And if you're hurt, you're hurt, and you can't perform to your top capability, your best performance, what's expected. And maybe you start bringing the team down, as crazy as it might sound when it's a player like McKinnon's caliber there. But who knows? It is playoffs. You got to suck it up. You got to get back out there. Yeah, it is true. Like, I totally get the mentality. But, yeah, it's we're not there, but we can see what's going on. You kind of get the feel. But, yeah, we'll find out tonight. 9:00 start, which is strange. And so it's been 8:00. All of a sudden, it's the 9:00 start. I'm not sure what that's about.
We're back
but
in Colorado today, right? Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. I believe they are. No, I believe they are in Colorado. Jack, who are players to watch for tonight's game?
Yeah, Rick, they're in Colorado, and I mean, for me, honestly, it's like just to touch on Colorado briefly, if Colorado even has a sniff of getting back in the series, I think you're going to have a big game for McKinnon, he's apparently banged up. Maybe Brock Nelson, unless we just see something random where, like, you got Ross Colton that scores a goal and, like, Logan O'Connor or something. But I think McKinnon's going to have to step up and really, like, take over in a sense, if he can, if he's not too hurt to. I'd like to see Brock Nelson score a big goal. He played so well all season in the playoffs. He's kind of been lackluster, not even just this series, just all playoffs long. But yeah, as far as Vegas goes, I mean, everyone's playing good. Brett Howden's playing good, but one guy I think isn't being covered enough, Rick, is William Karlsson. They call him Wild Bill. He's the OG Golden Knight. He's been with the Golden Knights since the expansion. Had that big season with them coming out, and that guy's been unbelievable. I think he's like more of a leader than maybe people give him credit for, and he's just like kind of a 200-foot player. Scored a big goal the other night. I don't know, man. Like I look for Karlsson. Like maybe if Eichel's not going, or if Marner's playing really good, I wouldn't be shocked if Karlsson scores a big goal for them tonight. That's Rick's picks, by the way. I'm gonna throw that in there real quick while we have the time. Rick's picks, Jack's pick would be anytime goal scorer William Karlsson. If anyone out there wants to throw a little cheddar on that, that would be my pick. Vegas to win with William Karlsson, anytime goal scorer. So I don't know if you have anything else to add, Rick, on that, on Vegas or Colorado. Any players you're thinking about or thinking may have a big game tonight on either side. But if you do, let me know, and then we'll jump into Carolina and Montreal.
Yeah, we definitely got to talk about that series real quick. Rick's picks, just to give it to you. Vegas guy I want to watch out for is Ivan Barbashev. He's been looking good, got a big goal, been playing good all around. And a guy on Colorado who I think is just due for a goal big time. And I know it's not any surprises, but it is Nathan McKinnon. He's got to get one tonight. He's got to get one. Down 3 games in the series, you got to get one. You got to put one up on the board, especially one, your first for this series. I think that's easy money, as we like to call it. But
probably
not if I'm betting it. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll probably be like Brent Burns instead of McKinnon that scores tonight or something like that. But yeah, who knows? That's Rick and Jack's picks. Carlson, Vegas. Carlson, anytime goal scorer, and Rick's got McKinnon. What do you got? So you got McKinnon and Barbashev, or you're just going straight up?
A guy you want to watch on Vegas is Barbashev. I'm not going to bet him for a goal, but a guy you definitely want to watch is him. But McKinnon, I think you got to bet him.
Like a friggin'...
Yeah, he's fucking awesome, man. That guy's awesome. I love that
beast,
guy. I love that guy.
Playoff player. But that's what I mean. Like Carlson, Barbashev, these guys, like, even if you don't look at Eichel and Marner, like, Barbashev.
200-foot players.
All these guys in the bottom six. Yeah, Keegan Colasar. That guy's been playing good. He's tough. He's physical. Like, a lot of these guys are built for the playoffs,
Absolutely. All right, let's dive into Carolina and Montreal. Structured team Carolina versus a high-flying, risk-taking Montreal team. Freddie Anderson bounced back, right, after that first Game 1 blowout. And they seem to, they took the 2-1 lead now after last night, the OT winner. What a game, what a series. What do you got to say, Jack?
Yeah, what a game, what a series is right. I'm honestly, Rick, I'm sort of like torn on this series because it's been a roller coaster. Like at first I'm like, you know what, Carolina's gonna hurricane style and shut them down. Then you see Montreal like flare and then I'm like, wow, maybe it's the opposite. Montreal could get past this like suffocating defense of Carolina. But then Carolina's just coming up in the big moments, right? Saturday night, Ehlers scores in overtime. Last night, Svechnikov scores in overtime. I really thought Montreal was going to win it last night. Actually, did throw a little something on Nick Suzuki to score in overtime. I just had a feeling about him. I feel like he's actually due for a big game, in my opinion. But, it's just like, I don't want to say Montreal looks rattled. I don't think they look rattled. Like, they're playing well. Dobish is playing well. But I think Carolina is just the better team overall. And it's a weird spot. Like, I think if I'm making a pick, it's Carolina, just with the style they're playing and just they're getting it done when they have to get it done, as simplistic as that sounds. I would like Montreal to win because I kind of always root for an underdog, and I like those guys on Montreal, the younger players. But I don't know. I think Carolina's going to get it done, and it's just so hard though because you look at go back to the Tampa series, right, or even the Buffalo series. Like Montreal always had a way of coming back, and
they always found a way
themselves back into the series. Yeah. So it's tough to say. It may be too early for us to really like say one way or the other. But if you want to just talk about the games, it's like, I don't know. Like you had. I don't know if you were watching closely last night, but Hudson, did you see he took the trip in OT that wasn't called? And then they were saying he was diving. I really don't think he was diving.
I don't think that was a dive, no. I don't think so.
Diving. I think it was a trip. And I think
blatant trip.
The refs are just putting the whistles away in the playoffs, and that's fine. I'm fine with that as long as you're calling it evenly. Like, don't
no makeup calls.
Not call that trip. Yeah, but then give Carolina a BS call. That's what I want to say. Like, be straightforward across the board, But, so, yeah, that's it. I mean, Lane Hudson, just while we're on the topic of him, I mean, obviously he's a smaller man, and he's very skilled and elusive and an amazing skater and all the above, does things on the ice with the puck that, like, you can't even really comprehend if you're actually out there yourself on how to do it. But he's better defensively, and I know I texted you this last night when I was watching the game, than people might notice unless you're really watching him closely. But I see him break up plays with his stick, and just like the little subtle plays he makes defensively too. Really impressive, because we all know how good offensively he is. It's almost like Quinn Hughes-esque, but like if you watch him, man, like he's not going to hit a guy, but like he'll track the puck down and chip it away from the guy and just skates himself out of trouble in a sense. Like, very impressed with Hudson. But yeah, I don't know, man. Just I'm impressed with Carolina's D too. They're deep, Like Keandre Miller, ex-Rangers, playing pretty solid. Shane Gostisbehere scored a big goal the other night to open it up. Sean Walker, right-handed shot. He's pretty solid too. Like these guys.
A guy we brought up
good,
earlier, Mark Jankowski too. That's another guy who's been playing well.
Yeah. Yeah, they signed him 2 years. I forgot what the number was, but I read it before on NHL.com. But it was 2 years they signed him for, and like where my mind goes with that, maybe he's got a little pressure off his back. Like he's like, all right, signed up for another couple years, making a couple $1 million, whatever it is. The stress is off of like, where am I playing next year? Where's my next job, right? So, those guys on the bottom six are playing good. The Jankowski, Robinson, and is it Carrier?
I believe so.
Fourth line? That's solid fourth line. Jankowski bounced around for a bit. He was with Pittsburgh. He was with Calgary to start his career. I think he was with Nashville for a little bit. Now he seems to have a home with the Canes. So it's cool to see. Good for him.
A guy I want to talk about and give
Rick,
props to, not to cut you off, Jack, I'm sorry, is Freddie Anderson, man. A 10-1 record. A 10-1 record. And I know this guy was riddled through injuries and certain things. And, I was talking about Carolina's goalie depth and how they have three solid goalies. If they get, blown up, maybe they'll rotate to three or whoever, kind of have a plug-and-play goalie system. But he's been holding it down, man. He's been holding it down so well. And it needs to be talked about, I feel like. The guy overcame some injuries, I believe, was it the 2022 season, 23 season? I might be off exactly. I don't remember the exact year, but I remember he was out for a long time, and it was the biggest question mark with Carolina. Who's their goalie? Who's this, who's that, So here we are now. He's back and seems to be better than ever, holding it down.
Yeah. 100%, Rick. I'm glad you brought that up because I almost forgot to. But yeah, he's been great. And for a while, like he had so many injury problems. And he was a bit inconsistent. Like he'd play amazing for like 30 games, and then like he'd be bad for 10 games. And the next thing you know, he's injured for 4 months. And just you got to give him credit because when he's playing in the big moments, and the big moment isn't too big for him, and that's really what it comes down to with him. So both goalies. Very impressed with all series and in both series, honestly. But still, like with Montreal, like Dovish has been great, man. For a young goalie, he doesn't look rattled at all. He looks he looks zoned in. He looks completely zoned in.
He's locked in.
Freddie Anderson, like you said, complete. He's a veteran and battled injuries. He's playing amazing, and it's great to see. And I don't know, Rick. It's just I'm excited for this series, like the next game, which will be tomorrow night. I'm excited to see where it lands, like where it goes, because it could go either way. Like I said, I lean towards Carolina, but count Montreal out at your own peril, like we have said all playoffs long so far.
Yeah, well said, Jack. I know that Montreal definitely needs to take more shots going into the game 4. I think it was 12 shots going into the OT. I think they maybe recorded 1 in OT. So it's crazy to me. And look at their overtime goal, Carolina's overtime goal. Just throw it on net, and you'll get a good result, hopefully. And I know there was traffic in front with Aho there, but Svechnikov, I can't even say his name either, just threw it on net, and good things happen when you get pucks to the net. So Montreal needs to shoot the puck.
I agree, Rick. I agree. Well said. Svechnikov, big goal. He's been inconsistent at times in his career, but he seems to be playing pretty well in the playoffs. I didn't even realize they had 12 shots on goal until you texted me about it, actually. That's when I actually looked at it and was like, oh, wow, I didn't even notice that. But, I don't know what they have to do. I do think they're kind of snuffing out Caulfield a bit. Like, he's able to make, like, passes, but he doesn't have the usual, that's the guy you look to, right? Score and shoot the puck and stuff like that. But they're doing a decent job of shutting him down, although he had 2 assists last night. Like, he did set up some plays. But, look, both teams are playing well, and it's just like I said, like I feel like I'm repeating myself at this point, but Carolina is playing well when they have to, when the game's on the line, but then Montreal's able to battle back. Like, I was just thinking, just when we talk about this series in particular, like you do a little deep diving, I guess you could say, not even deep diving, but when we look at Carolina, they sweep Ottawa. Ottawa was a good team. I picked Ottawa to beat them. We already went through that in the first podcast, but they sweep Philly. And now they got this Montreal team that's just pesky. And I know obviously Carolina's winning the series right now, but I don't know, man. I just don't know what to think yet. It's just I'm very impressed with Montreal, and we've seen them battle back against Tampa. We've seen them battle back against Buffalo. I know Carolina's kind of a different animal with their strategy and the way they play and stuff like that. But I don't want to keep repeating myself, but it's just a hell of a series, and I don't really know where to go yet. I don't want to count out Montreal, but one thing I want to get into is a player to watch on both sides, and I want you to let me know what you're thinking after what player. I want to see more out of Yuri Slavkovsky for Montreal. I think it's his time to show that he's like a big-time player. I thought he played really well in the Olympics. I think he has to get to the net. He's a big guy. He could shoot the puck. I don't think he's scared of physicality. I think he's got to step it up a little bit and maybe score a couple big goals or make some big plays and, get to the front of the net. Like, let Hudson sift some pucks through and Slavkovsky jams him home, like he's a guy that might be able to like penetrate that Carolina's defense. So he's definitely a player for me that I'm watching the rest of the series. And Carolina, collectively they've all played well. So it's tough to single out a guy, but it's Sebastian Aho, like he always gets kind of that he always gets like that, people kind of say like, oh, he's not a superstar type of thing. He's an average player, but I don't know, man. Like I could see him really turning around. I know he's not a Barkov or something, but he, see him scoring a big goal or having a really big game in game 6 or 7 or something like that. So those are my 2 players to watch. What about you, Rick?
So on Montreal, it's kind of tough to really narrow it down with all the firepower they got, but I'm gonna go a little bit low on the totem pole here. I'm thinking a Philip Deneau goal or like a Josh Anderson goal, a little veteran presence to get the boys going. I think I think one of those guys will get a big goal to start it off, to be honest with you. And on Carolina, this is where I'm at, and this is I've spoke about him before. I brought up his name last night. I think Jordan Martinook is going to have a big game. He's due. I remember I bet him for an overtime goal. I forgot what series. I don't remember if it was against Ottawa. I don't remember, but I know we had an OT goal, and I bet it. And I remember liking this guy a lot. The way he plays, that's a playoff player right there. And don't let him fool you. He plays in the bottom 6, but the guy's a hockey player in the NHL, man. He can bury pucks. I don't care. Give him the chances in front. He's burying pucks. He's good for 10 goals a year. Come on.
I like that. And I remember that. I remember when you bet that Martinook thing. I think we were texting, and I forgot who I picked. But obviously, you hit for Martinook, and I remember thinking, Martinook's not going to score in overtime. The guy doesn't even play a lot in overtime. But I was wrong, and I'm sure that was a nice little hit for you. I'm sure you went out and bought yourself a nice steak after that. But yeah, man, I don't know. So you got Martinook's player to watch, which is a good one. Who do you got for Montreal?
Well, I was bringing up Philip Deneau and Josh Anderson. I was thinking some veteran presence was really going to uplift the team. Not that I don't want to say that they're defeated or anything like that. Nobody's counting them out or anything like that. I think in Game 4, what do they play tomorrow? I do think that to kick off the game, I think Montreal is going to score first, and I think it's going to be one of the veteran guys. Maybe even Josh Anderson. That's another guy. He's been there for forever now. So, maybe
I like that. Yeah,
I like first goal to bring them up.
Yeah. And Anderson's a guy we should have brought up earlier because he scored, I believe, 2 goals in Game 2. He scored. What was that? Did he score yesterday? I'm sorry. It might have been the game before where he had 2 big goals. So he's a player that's interesting, right? Because it's like during the regular season, he's an afterthought almost. The last couple of years, he had somewhat of a big contract, and now it's game time, no matter where it matters most, and that's where he's shining. So that's a good pick there, Rick. And yeah, like I said, we're right on track here, listeners. Like we want your feedback, so don't be shy in the comments, like whether it's YouTube or Apple Podcasts, whatever platform you use. But give us some feedback on what you guys think and how you think we're doing. How let us know if one of Rick or Jack's picks hit. If you're riding with us or not, and I'll probably holler back at you guys on I don't know, Rick, maybe Saturday or Sunday, something like that. Have a nice pod, cover everything that's transpired from now until this weekend. It's the funnest time of the year for us, right? Like we got to be on the ball. We're trying to be, so that's we're going to get it done. And then we got the draft coming up and the free agency trades. And Rick, I was just going to pick your brain real quick just because I read it, so it's kind of relevant. I'm not just bringing this up out of nowhere. Apparently, the new GM in Toronto, John Shaka, had a sit down with Matthews over Zoom and his agent, and they didn't really get into particulars, but there's people saying like Matthews may want out, Matthews is going to stay, he wants to win with them. Like, you want to just touch on that quickly, what you think about Auston Matthews and his future, and then if he's staying in Toronto, if he's going to play out the final year of his deal and leave, or if he wants to be traded, or does this American kid want to win a cup in Toronto and he's going to stay and see what happens with that first overall pick and see if they can rebuild the right way?
Yeah, you know what? That's actually great to bring up. I want to clarify that I'm not a Matthews hater. Not that anybody said that, but I kind of do bash him sometimes, like the thing with the leadership stuff. And I know during the Olympics he was doing great and everything like that and won gold with them. But guy's a phenomenal player, 60 goal scorer, man. I mean, not everybody does that. So that's a guy who I would want on my team, of course. So who knows? I mean, I would assume they are picking Gavin McKenna with the first overall pick. Maybe he wants to get absolute clarification on that they're doing that. I would assume they are. But, yeah, like you said, an American guy, does he want to win a cup in Toronto? Does he want to stay in Toronto? Are they going to build more around him? Or are they going to build more around McKenna when he comes? What's the whole situation? It's interesting how it will play out. I think that they will figure out a way, but if he goes, where does he go? That's where I'm at. If he does leave, where does he go?
Yeah,
13 million, 15 million a year? I just I don't know everybody's cap situation, and we don't have to, we can make that a whole nother episode, but where does he really go? With that large a change, and I know the cap goes up every year, and I actually believe it was supposed to go up 8 million this year, 6 million, something like that. I know it's more than 5, but who knows?
That's a good question. I mean, obviously we're gonna have our whole off season talk and dive deep into the cap and the players and everything like that. But you make a good point about what they do with first overall. Do they keep the pick or do they trade it? Do they draft McKenna? Do they draft, is it Ivor Stenberg? Is he the guy? I don't know. Like, I know McKenna's kind of the consensus, but you see every year, some of these teams don't go with the consensus and it works out. Like we've spoke about with Shane Wright and Slavkovsky. If you go back years with Cale McCarr, like the consensus overall pick was I don't even know what the consensus was. Maybe listeners, you guys could look it up. But those consensus draft boards aren't always perfect, so who knows who the right pick is. I like McKenna. He seems like a stud, hopefully. I know the Rangers aren't getting him, so it doesn't really matter where he drops. But, it'll be interesting to see, Rick. As far as Matthews goes, I think personally he wants to be in the USA, on the USA team. I could be wrong. Who knows? I don't know the guy personally. Maybe he likes Toronto. Maybe he wants to be there and try to win a cup there with them. I don't think they're a cup team anytime soon, even if they get McKenna, personally, unless they really do something with their blue line and add some depth and stuff, which is easier said than done. People don't like giving away good defensemen for nothing, so I don't think I don't know. The crazier things have happened, but we'll see what happens with Toronto. We'll obviously dive deeper into them at a different time, but if you had like a dark horse, like if you had a team now you see Matthews going to just off the top of your head, who would you pick? And I'll give you mine after.
I think Utah. I think Utah has a magical way of making it happen. Whether it's trades, whether whatever, I could see him playing in Utah.
I like that. And they're not too far, I guess, from Arizona, where that's where he's from, and he spends his summers and stuff like that. So I actually really like that going about that too. For some reason, first thought in my head was San Jose.
Ooh,
it's like on the West Coast, and so, yeah, they have a good team. They got a bunch of young players, but they have a bunch of cap space too. So I could kind of see San Jose being a fit for him if the Maple Leafs moved him. But I like Utah's idea too. So hey, we'll see. We'll see if we're right in a couple of years. Maybe we'll throw that up like this sound clip and see if one of us was right or not. But but yeah, I just wanted to add that in because like Matthews, that's like an ongoing story, and I was just kind of pondering about it this morning a little bit, like where he could go and if he wants to be in Canada or if he wants to be in the U.S. And he just had surgery after that big Gudis hit, so like let's see how he comes back. But like I think when he's at the top of his game, he's one of the best, if not the best, goal scorer in the NHL. So definitely an interesting story to keep going on with. So
yeah, absolutely, for sure. When we cover McDavid, we could bring up Matthews and make it a whole episode with those two involved. I definitely want to touch on McDavid this offseason with Matthews involved as well.
I agree, Rick. Yeah, that's going to be a fun episode. I'm looking forward to it. What's on the agenda tonight? You staying up for this? Oh, by the way, listeners, we were wrong, Rick. I just looked. The game's in Vegas tonight, actually, but it is a 9:10 p.m. start in Vegas. Yeah, so I just double checked online, but so yeah, 9:10 p.m. start. I'm gonna do my best to stay up for it. I know we're on the East Coast here, me and Rick, and it's a little tough sometimes to stay up for the whole game, but I'm gonna try to. I'm definitely gonna try to just have an extra coffee in the morning when I'm tired, but try to stay up and see if Vegas sweeps them. Like I said, I got William Karlsson to score a goal tonight. So yeah, tonight probably after a brief workout, a nice steak, maybe an IPA or two. We'll see. Watch the game and see if my Golden Knights bring it home and keep Jack's pick on board.
All right, folks. That wraps up another episode of the Puck House. We are live on all platforms, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you listen to your podcast. We are on Instagram again. New logo. Let us know how you like it. And that's all we got for another episode on the Puck House. What do you got to say, Jack?
Well said, Rick. Like I said, looking forward to the game tonight. And listeners, thank you, as always, for listening. And like I said, leave us comments on any platform you use and let us know how we're doing. And we will see you guys on the next pod, and enjoy the playoff hockey tonight and enjoy the rest of your night.